When someone calls you on the street, "Hey, pretty girl, wanna get some?" That's harassment. When you receive a dick pic instead of a hello on the dating site, that's harassment. When your boss puts his arms around your waist in a way that makes you blush, that's definitely harassment. You can easily distinguish courtship from harassment by the mixture of fear, anger, shame, and disgust that you develop. Harassment is, first of all, domination and expression of disdain towards you, and only then of sexual interest. A harasser can try very hard to make the harassment look friendly. After all, he complimented you by shouting that you have a luscious ass. At this moment, you feel like a piece of meat. This happens because you're being objectified. Your personality, in its entirety, is reduced to the attractiveness of certain parts of your body. For a harasser, you're not an equal subject, but just an object of male desire and nothing else. You get angry because what happened is aggression towards you, no matter what the harasser thinks about it. If it happened in public, you also experience humiliation. You want to stand up for yourself, make it clear, "Hey, you can't do this to me." And what happens when you declare your discontent? Well, at best, the harasser devalues your reaction by saying, "You're overreacting, sweetheart." At worst, you will get a stream of insults and threats. In a harasser's world, you have to behave according to a gender stereotype. You should like it because you're a woman. He thinks that you should like it because you're a woman. It turns out that harassment is like accepting compliments at gunpoint. If you don't show enough enthusiasm in response, the harasser will pull the trigger. Or he might release the trigger just like that whenever he wants. And what kind of pleasure is that? And now, let's see how harassment and slut shaming are related. Let's say that a stranger writes to you on a dating site and immediately starts to make indecent proposals, being rude and demeaning. You tell him that you don't like this and that it's not your favorite way to start a conversation. In response, you get a message that all of the female members that registered on this dating site are lustful women because they're looking for attention and sex. That's it. Therefore, they deserve nothing better than this kind of treatment. Or, if the harassment situation happens on the street, then the harasser will tell you that you asked for it because you dress like a slut. And this way, harassment employs slut shaming to justify itself. Remember, looking for sex or dressing the way you see fit is your business and no one else's. It does not give anyone the right to humiliate you or do something against your will. None of your behavior justifies harassers' actions. The best thing you can do when you find yourself in a situation of harassment is to recognize it and get rid of the feeling of guilt for your desire to respond with aggression. Aggression is what you need. To begin with, do not devalue your emotional reaction. Listen to it, because it's this reaction that will help you understand what is happening. Remember, you don't have to be nice and comfortable for someone who violates your boundaries. On the other hand, the fact that you could not stand up for yourself out of fear or humiliation does not in any way make you guilty. Also, you do not have to explain to the harasser the reasons for your behavior. For example, avoiding contact with him. Just make sure to do everything in your power to defend yourself. If the harassment comes from someone you can't stop interacting with, then make your interaction visible. Call a spade a spade. Start by talking directly to the harasser. And be prepared that he may not understand what the problem is, at least not the way that you understand it. Therefore, be sure to indicate his specific actions that do not suit you and that you're asking to stop. It can be hugs, comments about appearance, and flirty messages. Be prepared for the harasser to deny everything and make fun of your feelings. And if talking directly to him does not help, then you have all the right to make the situation public. If this is happening at the university, then tell the dean's office about it. If this happens at work, then tell your boss about it. This way, you will not only stand up for yourself, but you will also protect other women. Unfortunately, in some cases, when you start talking about what is happening to you, you may get accused. This happens especially often if the harasser has more influence at work than you. If you decide to disclose what is happening in spite of everything, then try to find people who will support you in advance. Make sure that you have the strength to fight and that you are safe. Clearly, it is up to you whether to stay in the situation or change your place of work or study. But keep in mind that constant harassment, which cannot be answered, can cripple your mental state. Are you ready to invest in psychotherapy later in your life? Any woman can become a victim of harassment. Support another woman if you see this happening next to you. And most importantly, support yourself if this happens to you. It is not your job to create comfort for the harasser. Your job is to keep yourself safe.